woman is tasked with studying like reproduction, like sex and reproduction. And so she's going on dates and stuff. And she comes home and she reports on the date because she has to report in.
Yeah.
And she is trying to at some point experience sex or something. And she says, like the guy wanted to sleep with me, but I just wanted sex. So I came home.
Okay, that's great.
That is great.
I don't like doing work. Sorry. You're just going to have to do it yourself.
So the first 5 minutes on this side is our fun talk time. And
when's our not fun talk time?
The rest of the podcast.
Okay, cool. Just like usual.
Just like normal. Yeah. There's another thing I was going to tell you. I can't remember now.
Turn your phone off, maybe.
Oh, well, yeah. That's a good. Man, we've done like 30 some episodes of this, and you still.
We're sick
I
of
didn't know you were going to hit record.
Coconuts. Click, click, click.
I didn't know what people were going to hit record so fast.
Oh, I actually hadn't even started. There you go. The pause symbol means pause.
What does the play symbol mean?
Get out.
Get out and play.
Get out and play.
Right now.
I don't know. There's one more thing I was gonna tell you to do, but now I can't remember. So whatever.
I'll tell you what to do.
I'll give you something to cry about. No, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's my generation's tagline.
Gen X.
It transcends multiple generations. Trust
Did your
me.
dad say that to you?
My mom.
Oh, your mom? Yeah. Well, she's Gen X.
She's a Gen
that's
Xer.
true,
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we know.
But then they said, and I would always come to you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
You got a sorry?
Oh, wow.
No.
Wow.
I'm just
Never.
kidding. I know
That's
you.
why he's well adjusted.
I have a Hispanic mother.
Yeah.
There is no sorry. It's always your fault.
You don't love your mother.
I do love my mom, though.
You hurt me.
Love you very
It's like I
much.
give you all of these things and you hurt me. Oh, man. It's been a week. It's been a year.
Yeah,
We're at
it's
2026.
definitely been a week, but we won't go there.
I think at this point it's
jeez.
about 3 weeks in.
Oh, yeah? Are we? Yeah, because we got one more and then, yeah. So, yeah, it's been...
R.I.P. David Bowie. We are filming this on the anniversary of his death.
He's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly.
Oh, yeah. I did go back home, just like Elvis, according to Men in Black.
He's gonna wake up in 100 years and it'll be a whole Vanilla Sky kind of thing.
And it's just going to be his head.
Tech support.
Oh, right. That was a weird movie. I don't know
It
if you-
was.
Yeah.
I
feel like
Prestige, though.
Siege, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's good.
I'm sure you're shocked that I haven't seen a movie.
No.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But Bowie's in it.
He is, yeah.
He's also in Yellowbeard briefly.
Oh.
Oh.
I actually brought that to
Because
the...
his original name, I believe, is Davy Jones.
No.
I kid you
I
not. It
think
was
you're
a
right.
trivia that Dad got.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Somebody correct me in the comments if that's not exactly. It might be like Davy R. Jones or something. I don't know.
I brought
Not
that movie.
Davy D. Jones.
I brought that movie to the house thing.
Oh, Yellowbeard. Yeah.
And I chose
Never
Pirates
got-
of the Caribbean, a movie that I've seen 20 times.
Right. Everyone was having a good time. So I
Yeah.
can't
Like
really.
that's good background film.
Oh, that was so
It
good.
is. Yeah, that's all it's worth is background.
I mean, it's background, foreground, side ground,
Playground. Playground.
The best part is that it's mostly on water.
Well,
It's like Waterworld. Why is there so much ground on everyone's face?
why they're so dirty? Yeah.
I'm gonna always say that because I always thought it was funny.
I was watching that the other day.
Yeah, and I almost I saw the first 5 minutes. I was like, I can't.
Why? Because he's peeing in the thing and it's recycling. And it's like, wow, tea water.
Which was, I mean, I liked the tone of it. I think it was just, I was in the wrong mindset. I'll say.
Maybe not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
I had to do
depression.
something. I don't remember what it was.
If you've ever been to the Outback restaurant, by the way, the bathrooms are labeled used beer department.
Oof. I mean, it's pretty accurate. Foster's.
Oh,
Australian for beer. Welcome to Bards and Balladeers, lacking beer and only having deers. We are the podcast about narration in all its forms, and we love being here and talking about that because we always have something to say, and it's a good time with you guys. So I am Rio. We have
Oscar.
And I'm Kate.
Yeah,
We all write stuff.
We do write stuff. We are authors extraordinaire, and we decided that we were so smart and so talented that we're going to do a podcast like every other millennial in existence.
And we are ordered from over here to over there in order of more balladeer and least balladeer, more balladeer, most balladeer. But we're all bards.
Fair. You're all bards. Okay. That's fair enough.
The balladeer.
Listen to my soliloquy. If you're watching us here on YouTube or listening on Spotify, it's good places to find us. But if you have Apple devices, I'm sorry, but no, you can listen on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. There's a lot of places you can find us, and we have a website too. You can buy some cool merch if you're looking like these cool mugs. Oh, you can't even see mine. Like these cool mugs that say BNB. And we also have a Discord. So if you want to join us on our Discord, have fun with us. We have some behind the scenes stuff. Just kind of let loose and have some fun. So it's a good time. All our links are in the description below. So check us out.
I've also got a request. I want to put in a request for some Orc Entertainment mugs.
Ah, yes. So we're official.
Once the logo's done.
Yeah, we are official.
I want to make sure ORC, if you don't follow, stands for our names.
Oscar, Rio, Kate.
Yeah, we are in order again. Yeah. This would have been very bad if we were.
We are Orc.
Rock.
Orc.
Yeah. Rock. Orc rocks.
Hopefully, maybe by the time this episode's up, we'll have the logo and I'll pop it on the screen so you can see it. So we're Orc Entertainment. So maybe this won't be the only podcast we do. Maybe we'll do some other things. Yeah. But for now, this is who we are.
Yeah.
Bards and Balladeers.
Welcome.
So today we are talking about alien characters.
Alien characters.
Yes.
So,
and I was thinking about this topic too, and I was thinking like real world stuff, because you think, okay, well, I don't necessarily want it to all be like sci-fi or whatever, but it also applies to different cultures.
Very much so, yeah.
And I was thinking about you've known a couple people who've been in spent real time in China, and just tell me about like different customs, like here it's like it's sort of like the colloquial understanding, like clean your plate, it's polite or something. That's not good for your health, but
sure,
like eat all your food. And guy that I used to know in Boston, Vince, if you're out there, but he spent a year in China in his first, or a couple of years. In his first year, he was trying to do that clean your plate thing. And in China, this custom is you signify you're done by leaving a little bit of food on your plate.
Really?
So about 2.5 plates in, when he's like, all right, he had to give up the ghost. I can't eat anymore. And then this all came out. And he's just like, oh, I wish I'd known that like a plate and a half ago.
Yeah, right. It's probably good food, but
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And another friend of mine, Nick, again, if you're out there, he told me like to show respect, like when you hand over money, you do like this, hand it with both hands like this.
Interesting.
And
I think that's a very Japanese thing. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe more Asian, but like China, they definitely do that. It's like if you just throw your money on the counter.
$3.
Yeah, people
even if you do that here,
that's disrespectful.
It is also disrespectful and gross.
Yeah. But so just stuff like that, like what are the different perspectives alien characters bring and such.
Right. Yeah, definitely culture shock is a huge thing if you've ever been out of the country. People, even going like a little south too. I always joke about there's this time I went down to Kansas and it was a gas station and they asked me, you want a sack? And I'm like, what? A sack of what? And like a sack, and they're holding up a bag and everything, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll take a sack. So it's just one of those things where it's just like colloquial pop, soda pop, soda, that
my
too.
old roommate in college out in Boston, Mark, again, if you're listening. Yeah, I first time he heard me say pop, he just stopped and he looked at me like, pop? I bet you call lollipops suckers, don't you? I started laughing because I totally do.
That's beautiful. I like this friend.
Yeah.
Because of the pop soda thing, I was like, I just can't. I'll do it to help, like if somebody from local from here.
Attention.
Like if they don't understand me the first time that I say it, and by understand, like maybe like I mumbled or something.
Right.
And
did I stutter?
Yeah. But going off of that, concept of like the different things, like the different cultures, whatever, bring into stories and whatnot. One question that came up was, how can the differences of these like alien characters make us like empathize with them more, or like feel like what they're going through is relatable in some way, shape, or form. Like it's relevant to me and it's also relevant to them. Therefore, like there's a mutual like understanding between us and them. And the first movie you actually brought this example up was, and I don't know if you've seen it, I hope you have, it's District 9.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh,
well, that is
you
okay.
would love District 9. I'm like,
Well,
not even
don't have to
joking.
see districts 1 through 8 first.
Yeah, but they're short, so it's fine.
Okay.
No,
They're Passover stories.
yeah. No, District 9
That was
is
good.
great. I didn't get it.
But
Yeah, go
but
ahead, sorry.
it just
Yes.
again I think it's easy to kind of summarize because like with the aliens, if I say the P word, is that derogatory or is that what they're actually called?
Oh, no, that's derogatory to them,
is,
but
okay.
in the story. But also, it's kind of I wouldn't say spoiler, but there's a derogatory term they call them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I don't want to say it then because I just don't remember what they're
Oh,
actually
just
called.
like in real life, it doesn't mean
Okay.
anything. You can say it.
Because they're kind of shrimp-like, yeah. So they're
They call
called
it prawns.
Yeah, prawns is like the derogatory term that the
Okay.
South Africans or Johannesburgians, forgive me, used.
Johannesburgers, I think, probably.
Johannesburgers.
I don't know that that's what they call themselves,
Easy.
but that would make sense.
Yes.
But the aliens have come down and they've given the aliens certain areas to live in within Johannesburg, I believe, or just somewhere in South Africa. And the humans end up calling them prawns, like in a derogatory way. But you sort of start at the beginning seeing like, I don't want to say like a slice of life of one of the aliens, but of just them trying to take care of a little alien. Whether I think it's their child.
Jonathan,
I think it's
what they call him,
I
something
think
like
so, yeah.
Is the Christian
And
name? Like, it's funny. Like,
I just like that they paralleled that, and I don't want to spoil too much. I don't think I'm spoiling much at all, but the main character guy, who is Sharlto Copley, who is a fantastic actor. He's been in, I know you've,
breakout film, I think.
was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Good for him.
Yeah.
But his character too, parallels it because he just wants to make his wife proud. And so knowing those two like fundamental like similarities yet differences, like the alien just wants to make their kid proud and also keep them safe, keep them fed in an area where there's not a lot to go around. There's warlords and stuff like that. And then Vicus, I think is the other guy's name. Again, he just loves his wife. I think there might be more to his story too.
The one thing that to the point of why this film is so important is because it becomes a very transformative thing where the main character learns about the alien race in a way that is almost forced upon him. Like, again, I know this movie's like almost like 20 years old, but I just don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it because just the way they go about it is so fantastic. Neil Bolenkamp is the director, and his way of like filming is very, I don't want to say raw, whatever, but like he uses a lot of like camera footage or like security footage and like body cam footage and like a lot of stuff. And it makes it just feel a lot more real. Like, so we got to watch it sometime. Like it's a fantastic film.
But he's right that watching these characters sort of become the villains in a way, and again, not trying to spoil too much, we accept it because we relate to the struggles that they've gone through as this other species, as this oppressed species, let's say. And so it's just a fascinating, like, I think, way that the directors, the writers used aliens to parallel like real life,
you can
problems.
Take those people and replace it with like the plights of like Somali people or something like that, or whatever. Like
any refugees, honestly. Yeah.
Well, and even just being a refugee puts you in a different perspective than whatever culture you end up in, where that's, maybe more stable. Like, I live in a heavily Somali neighborhood, and, there's a lot of ICE stuff going on right now we won't get into, but, a lot of them are refugees, but like they're mostly, legal residents, and they're mostly refugees from a war that we kind of instigated.
Sure.
in Somalia.
Yeah, we won't get too much into any political things.
But it's like the status of being a refugee. Like, none of us can really imagine how wrenching it would be to be forced out of not only our home, but our home country, our home language, all of that, and then start somewhere else and then be treated like, you're kind of not welcome here sort of thing.
Right.
And that brings its own perspective. For whatever reason you're there, you're trying to make your life work, and in sort of sometimes a hostile environment. But I've met a lot when I used to do Uber and Lyft. I met a lot of Somalis, and a lot of them were like, grabbing those opportunities by the horns in ways that a lot of us sort of take for granted.
Mhm.
Sure.
Because they wouldn't have, like, those opportunities were not abundant enough to take for granted. And so, like, a lot of them are doing really well. So, and again, that's just a change of perspective. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
That-
drive like
Oh, sorry.
local students home, and, you know, I swear it would seem like why there was this question in my mind every time of, like, you know, like, why are all these people paying $40,000 a year in tuition to get drunk when it doesn't even cover the alcohol? Like,
Mm.
like that was
Sure.
all they were there for.
You mean just college students in general?
yeah.
It's like, well, I got a 4-year degree in drinking, you know.
My liver hates me.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
party schools. It's a
Yeah.
thing.
I didn't learn anything. I passed the test. Yeah.
But that brings up something that Rio had talked about too. Was I want to make sure that I
Make you sound
find
smart.
it. Make you sound smart. All right, that's my job.
We agreed on that goal. No,
Just how these different perspectives, you know, of different like alien characters. I think was you brought up K-Pax. That's what it was.
Right.
Seeing our mundane things through new eyes gives us new perspective, like things that
You
we
can
take
talk
for
about this.
granted.
Oh,
But yeah, I still haven't seen K-Pax, so feel free to take it away,
One
boys.
of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
It sucks that Kevin Spacey's in it now, but, you know, it's a good
Mhm.
movie.
Like-
Lots of people in it,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I mean, one of the little things that you see in there, like, he loves fruit. He's always eating fruit,
Oh.
but, you know, he'll eat a strawberry with the green still attached.
Yeah.
You know, like eat, you know, like, I don't even remember if it's like the whole apple. Like, there's very few things he won't eat. And just watching him eat like a piece of fruit, you're like, that does seem kind of alien.
Yeah,
Like
just
eating a
oddly.
banana with the peel on it
Yeah.
and everything. Just
Yeah.
like, no, this
Orange
is all
with the
great.
peel.
Yeah. The
Um,
rind's tasty.
And just, I mean, I've read the book that movie
there's
is
a
based
book?
on. Yeah, actually, there's
Oh.
a sequel too.
Oh.
To the book.
I got to talk to you
Yeah,
about that afterwards, but
I haven't read the sequel to the book,
I'm
but
curious. Do you know what it's about? Sequel?
no, I don't.
Okay.
He comes back.
Okay. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoilers, guys.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's interesting because in the book, and this struck me, this stuck with me. And he says it in the movie too, that like Earth is classified, like it's got a certain classification for a planet, which means future uncertain.
Yeah.
And if you look societally, like, you know, I've studied consciousness models a lot, and there is a point where if you get the general population up to a certain like point of social evolution, it would become far more stable. There wouldn't be so much strife because people are generally, they have an attitude of abundance, and they are their default is authenticity and working together. And I imagine that point would be somewhere around then of like, okay, now your future is not uncertain anymore.
Sure.
Mm,
And it's just an interesting perspective. There's so much interesting perspective in that movie. I'm like, yeah, this is some good sci-fi.
Right.
mm.
And the thing I was trying to like tell her about, like how he is portrayed as truly alien, not just the way he acts and everything, but also because of the way like he sees what we're doing and just thinks it's either like reductive or just silly, like, you know, just like, and then when he starts explaining his own culture and everything, and then there's like, it's like a conversation with an alien. It's really great because like they just go back and forth. It's like, why do you do this? It's like, because we know what greatness can come through struggle. We know like that, like I forgot what his name was in the alien.
Prote.
Thank you. Prote's talking about is like, because they talk about sex at one point and what they do to procreate and everything. And he goes through this detailed, and they ask him why you do it. And he's just like, well, because, you know, it's a show of love. It's a show of like, you know, the ability to get past the worst things to create something great, you know? And I think that perspective of him, like understanding that is trying to connect with the human race too, was saying that you guys like take things for granted. You just make things worse than they are when like they don't need to be, like, you know.
There's not a lot of consideration in a lot of what humanity does by comparison.
Yeah. Great movie. Just
Yeah.
fantastic movie. Like, again, we should watch District 9 and K-Pax and like in a twofer, because I feel like this would be like a really great.
And we should actually, I think, you know, it'd be fun to watch some of those, like do a reaction and then do the podcast about it.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I have actually had a couple
Extra.
requests to, like, you know, we spent a lot of time on Avatar recently,
Sure.
and that actually went over well with a couple people
Oh, nice.
I know specifically. So,
Nice to
Oh,
know.
yeah.
you know, it's
Okay.
an idea.
I mean, it'd be
That's
cool
true.
if we did like a quick, like 15 like minute reaction or review of like our reactionary things. It's like, this is why this worked. I like this or whatever. But
angling for that
I
reaction.
have a question about K-Pax though.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen the like still that Netflix has like displaying the movie.
Of Kevin Spacey with the glasses.
Okay, so is he an alien that looks humanoid?
I can't even
That'd be a spoiler.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can't say.
Okay, because that actually is one of the questions that I had is I think it's almost, well, I guess when aliens either mimic, humanoid figures, let's say, for particular reasons, I think it's kind of endearing depending on why they're doing it, like out of fascination, or if they're hiding, that's not as endearing. It's almost like that gives me more empathy for the characters in a way. And so I wanted to sort of like segue into that is like, I had a couple of examples, but how do you guys feel about I'd rather a movie acknowledge why an alien figure looks humanoid versus just having aliens that look humanoid for no reason.
They do talk about this early in the movie. And I will say by the end of the movie, you're supposed to have some doubt whether or not he's actually an alien at all.
Whoa,
but,
cool.
Yeah,
okay.
But towards the beginning, this question comes up, like Jeff Bridges asks him that because that's his doctor.
Oh, okay.
And he says, why is the soap bubble round? That's because it's the most efficient configuration. He says, on Earth, I look like a human. On K-Pax, I look like a K-Paxian. That's Prote's answer.
Oh.
Reminds me of Mass Effect. That's a little bit tangent. There's a race of, what are they called? There's a race of girls who everything they can basically take DNA from any race and make children. And there's a group of 3 guys that are all arguing what she looks like they look like, but they must be using like psionics or something to like make it look like to the humans that she looks humans. To the Krogan, she looks like a Krogan, which is like this big turtle guy. So I think they're just kind of projecting something, but they're actually something else they never say, but it's kind of cool.
Oh,
I know
that's interesting.
Yeah.
There's a concept from Red Dwarf, which again is like British sci-fi comedy of there's a thing called a pleasure gelf. So gelf is actually an acronym for genetically engineered life form.
Okay.
And a pleasure gelf is sort of like appears to be like whatever you really want it to be.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's an interesting little concept, but
that is, yeah. Yeah. Which as opposed to like, one of the examples that I had was Men in Black, where aliens are across the world, and also I guess from is it a book or a comic series where it's not just aliens, it's also like just supernatural things in general. Maybe
Men in Black?
Yeah.
No, it's just aliens.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought.
I'm pretty sure it's just aliens.
If somebody else knows, support me in the comments. But maybe it is just aliens. But I just think it's funny that in there they're all like hiding to some degree, or trying to conceal that world from the general populace.
It's sort of like, if anyone's ever played Vampire the Masquerade, it's like they're supposed to pretend there are no vampires. They're all trying to say
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like the alien version of that.
Yeah.
Well, they do a good job actually. Men in Black does a very good job of just making just weird creatures, but then they put them into like what was it? Tony Shalhoub plays the one like guy in the like pawn shop. He's like, oh, what are you talking about? And all these people are just like kind of weird. Like you've met people who are just kind of weird.
Yeah.
And like, all right, they're just weird, whatever. But like this gave their reason why like some people are weird. And it's like they're aliens, obviously, or like they joke about like Michael Jackson's an alien, Ariana Grande is an alien. Like, it's just
Elvis,
people,
right?
Elvis,
Yeah.
Elvis not dead. He just went back home. Like,
So it's an interesting concept. I feel like, at least to me, when it's played with, like it almost to like a comedic element versus like something that's really heavy. Of like, I'm trying to think of another
commentary almost.
Yeah.
I mean, E.T. was a little bit heavy.
Sure.
But like, speaking of comedic, like Third Rock from the Sun.
I actually
a good show.
Yeah. I know there's one line that just made me laugh so much. Cause like they're having to decide. It's like this, for those who haven't seen it, it's this group of aliens and there's a commander and everything. It's like, 4 of them or something.
Yeah.
But so they're masquerading as a human family because they're researching humans. And the second in command, the woman who's like, she's like the oldest, like
veteran, like war, like soldier. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, there's the 2 younger ones than her, and then there's the older one who's the commander. So she's
Actually, the oldest one is the kid.
Oh yeah. I forgot that it works that way. Like apparently oldest is the commander. Yeah. But anyway, like so the adult woman is tasked with studying like reproduction, like sex and reproduction. And so she's going on dates and stuff, and she comes home and she reports on the date because she has to report in.
Yeah.
And she is trying to at some point experience sex or something. And she says, like the guy wanted to sleep with me, but I just wanted sex. So I came home.
Okay, that's great.
That is great.
Because like
really well written.
just the colloquialism of sleeping with someone, like that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
You'd actually like the show quite a bit, I believe.
I've heard a lot about it because I get it mixed up with there's another show. I don't
30 Rock or something.
Yes and no. What's the one where Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like? That's the same one.
Yep,
Yeah,
reference on.
Yeah, he's the youngest
baby.
kid.
Yeah.
I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I really do.
And then John Lithgow and
I know none of the other ones.
French Stewart. Oh, that's the other one. The fourth one. Incoming message from the big head.
Which is William Shatner.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting little show. I haven't seen all of it, but I know that Jason Carter's in an episode, and I checked that. I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's almost
was
like
that while he was in Babylon 5?
I think it was after.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's almost like its own like niche of like specific sci-fi with aliens, like
sci-fi.
Like trying to not assimilate, but instead to observe and
to make
failing.
Fun of the ridiculousness of our planet. Yeah.
Which that, I mean, kind of brings up another question too, like about like I don't know how to phrase it. It's just any favorites where character traits help us learn more about ourselves, and I feel like that ties into it kind of a lot.
It's sort of the reason to use alien character. Oh, I mean, if you're writing sci-fi, the reason to use alien characters is it's multifaceted. But
sure.
One main function they serve in fiction is to radically shift perspective or open the door to radically different perspectives. And that allows more reflection of the things we take for granted, the perspectives we take for granted, like the whole phrase sleeping with somebody.
Right.
And just think all kinds of societal things we take for granted, or even individual things we take for granted. Like my final paper in my freshman college, like the last writing course I ever had. So, you don't actually
then I became a writer.
Yeah. But it was composition for pre-med and engineering students. Basically, I was an astrophysics student, and I did my final paper on SETI, like the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And I have this book, and I should have brought this book, but like there are artist depictions in this book. It's like a space stuff book. I won't get into detail about that, but there are artist depictions of what life might look like on a planet with a higher gravity than Earth. And there are depictions of what life might look like on a planet with lower gravity.
Right.
And it's like, say, give or take, like a gravity down to like half ours or something, or a gravity up to twice ours or something. And the life in the one with more gravity, it has like lots of low to the ground animals and like creepy crawlies and like fog and
stuff like that.
Just, and again, artist depiction.
I'm sure that it's based on
checking some science, but like, again, this was before we discovered any planets outside of our solar system. It was from the 80s, and they didn't discover those till like the mid 90s.
Yeah. Cause I remember there was a book I had that had a bunch of that stuff. Like what they theorized, like they thought that in those lower gravities that they would have more animals that would have flight, or they would be like using like methane or something to create like blimps basically of their bodies and stuff of that.
Right. Yeah. The lower gravity ones had more like jumping creatures and like kind of higher stuff.
Just with that said, I just imagine like little floating cows because they keep the methane inside of them.
Did you know
like a little pocket of methane just
Rob my brother was talking about like at one point somebody was trying to devise a way to capture that methane from cows, basically making them wear like a little balloon on their back that suction to their butt, I guess, because then if you could somehow harness that, then that's, good for,
but if it gets near a flame,
pooh, you just see one and there's a whole field just exploding.
It's just raining half cows.
Oh my God.
I played bass for half cows.
Ooh, there you go. Got one.
Got one.
Got one in
Got
the new
one in.
year.
I love that this is spreading.
Yeah.
But yeah, it creates the opportunity to explore perspectives in a way you don't get without
Mhm.
alien characters. And it's the same again, back to like alien cultures and stuff. Just, like I know in my first book, like Koya's, like there's that remarking. Actually, I think it's more in, it's in the first and second, but like talking about how like the natives in South America, like a lot of the ones that were kind of under Incan rule, they're the three worst thing. One of the worst things you can be is a thief. And the Spanish sort of discovered like theft was, so much bigger of a deal to them. And it like people would leave their stuff out. Like, but one of the reasons that would happen is that periodically there'd be this like complete redistribution of wealth all the time. So what's the point of stealing something?
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's just alien cultures and you get kind of assimilated. I think you were kind of leading towards that before, like that boundary between a culture either you're observing or being assimilated into. And there's always that pressure to assimilate, even if you're observing, if you're participating in it at all.
Or you even like take things. I think too, that you'll see things and be like, that's better than what I'm doing. I should
Yeah. You're sort of like picking the best of both worlds. And I know Koya's sort of like out of that culture because she's like twice over a refugee and then meets a couple other people who are, kind of from her own culture. And she's sort of reminded, oh yeah, like I kind of forgot about these things.
Right.
And this is such a relief to be back, with people who are like-minded like that. But just seeing the counterpoint of how much you can change when you're assimilating into other cultures. And then you go back to your original, like I feel that if I'm on a long trip and I come home, sometimes I'm like, I had culture shock when I came home.
Right.
Where am I? I don't have memories of this place.
It really makes you consider or makes me think of when is it time to shift your values? Is it worth shifting your values that actually means something to you? When is living in a new place inauthentic to who you are, but out of necessity, you must do it? It's a fascinating thing, when talking about these different kind of characters and Koya especially, and especially when you said coming home from a trip, it kind of does make you open your eyes a little bit to, our
societal norms.
The best for you as an individual, and
I know there are a lot of people who move to Europe and they're like, I'm not coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Heard that. Go to Portugal. They have 300 days of sunshine. Yeah.
Great.
And upstate New York, even to Minnesota, there's it's tiny.
It's different.
It's different. Yeah. It is very different. And at the same time, I think that's the benefit of living sort of in the way that we get to live. I say that very carefully. Because there was a Trevor Noah and Simon Sinek conversation that says that the ability to move away from where you grew up is actually a luxury. I'm paraphrasing completely.
I just encountered this yesterday with Ryan Grimm, a great reporter. Go check out Dropsite News. But he was talking about that as one of the most key things, key aspects of freedom, especially that we take for granted. Is the ability to move around. You don't need papers to go from Pennsylvania to New York.
Sure.
Right.
Or to go from even there. He said he was in Bolivia or something, and they were kind of touring this military installation. He's and some guy asked him why do you guys get to walk around a Bolivian military compound, but I can't go to the United States?
Sure.
And it's it's the inequity of different levels of freedom.
And I think there are actually a lot of different versions of sci-fi that sort of explore this and also help us empathize with Luke, for example, in Star Wars. We connect with him because he feels stuck in the beginning, because at what person hasn't felt stuck, in whatever version of society that they live in, depending on where you're at. I think it's not a quick and easy way to get us to empathize with them, but I think it's
being alienated just in general.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And isolated,
the
the inability to leave. Like, what is that? Feeling stuck. I mean, that's the only way I think I can phrase it.
Like is feeling trapped in your life in any way, but it's a very particular kind of feeling trapped. And I mean, there are sci-fi shows where, whole populations, whole planets will get wiped out.
Yeah.
And you imagine like, okay, not only do I have to assimilate into other cultures, but I have to do that while grieving the entirety of my own. And I can't go back to it. Any other people I run into, it's a big deal when you run into them. I mean, hell, I even know just as a Turkish American, in the Midwest, if I run into another Turkish American, we stand there and talk about it for like 5 minutes. I've called it turking off, but
we both leave happy.
Yeah. But it is a little, just that kind of cultural Marco Polo,
Sure.
just Marco. But even just with like when the clash of cultures, like I'm thinking, we always talk about the lizard brain.
Yeah.
And how it kind of like, that's more your impulsive kind of territorial side. Well, imagine alien cultures that are more descended from reptiles.
Yeah.
And, humans might just be like, oh, these guys are intolerable, but like maybe they're just a little more impulsive because that's their evolution and they can't help it.
Right.
And are you going to just rag on them for it? Or are you going to like deal with it or find a way?
Voyager talked about that.
Yeah.
There was an island on the Earth that survived the fallout from the asteroid.
Yeah.
And they continued evolving and everything. And they had space flight and they left. Then they met them in the Delta Quadrant, like when they were out there. But
interesting. I didn't catch that part.
No, it's fine.
I haven't seen all of Voyager. So.
That actually brings up another question I had: is when do like the alien traits become like non-believable to us? Like we kind of were talking about it a little bit, brainstorming some ideas that like, does the alien look humanoid because of a particular reason, like written to the story?
Sure.
Or is it just lazy, like visual?
Yeah, we don't
designing?
have the budget for better effects without just putting people in bipedal
There's a lot
suits.
of Doctor Who.
1950s sci-fi and all that stuff. Like,
and I know in Star Trek they eventually work it in.
Yeah, they do. Which,
but then you're going, 3-4 seasons or whatever with no explanation. It's like, okay, it's just. I think there was an Onion article back in the day of new Star Trek species sports entirely different brow ridge or something.
Right, because it's either like this or this, or the ridge is here, or ears, but like the Vulcans
else is the same.
And just like, and they do an okay, fine, thing with it. But I do agree with you though. Like, I really think it is kind of lazy sometimes. I don't want to say lazy. Sorry. It's just like, it's easier to do that because when you get to like really truly alien, like, not monsters, but people or things in movies and in stories, it just is very unsettling for people. And sometimes that's what you want, especially like in horror, like sci-fi horror. But like it is truly like alien. There's the Arrival, which is a movie where like the aliens are so far derivative that you have to like pay attention to what these are and learn with these people what they are, because they are not normal, like presenting, like they look like a hand, like there's this weird, like
kind of squid-like,
jellyfish,
almost, but still
huge, right? If I'm remembering right.
And they had to be in their own atmosphere, and they made a compartment just so the humans could come and talk to them. And they talk. You haven't seen Rebel?
No, I was thinking Babylon 5 has sections of the station where there's different atmospheres for different
fantastic.
But they communicated with circles, and like just circles that have like different, like outcroppings and stuff like that.
Kind of like the Doctor Who language, like Gallifreyan.
It's very rough.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's also, there's no beginning or ending. It has to be taken as like the language has to be taken as a whole. Like you cannot interpret like beginning or end or something. It has to be taken as the whole like thought. It's wild. Like you'd like that too, I think. But I think when they do that, I find that more interesting. Like, as you have Star Wars and you have some other ones, like you said, you just slap on some like little tendrils and like, I'm an alien, Chewbacca is probably the farthest thing that was the most alien, but it was just a guy in a rug. So,
probably Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt was probably
probably. But doesn't that also show like almost like our own evolution with like exploring with things that are different?
Yeah.
That's like another section
District
of
9.
Yeah. And how like our version of different in the 60s is a little bit different than our version of Help me out.
Yeah, then now. I mean, I think you're right because like
What am I trying to
it's
say?
one of those progressions where it's like, I'm gonna do something a little bit weirder. I'm gonna do something a little bit weirder. And then people become more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly, what is it? I think it's the government trying to train us for when the inevitable like alien invasion comes that we're prepared for it and we're not so scared. And like
Independence Day is actually a guidebook.
Yeah.
We'll be prepared because David Bruins will have written about it 2 years prior.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, you just gotta follow him. It's like, no, I'm not ready for this.
Stop. I told you to stop. But yeah, I think they're one of my favorite Ken Wilber quotes, and this is more for, discussions between different value systems. He said a good rule of thumb, which is a ridiculous phrase because it comes from, a rod can only be as thick as your thumb if you want to beat your wife with it.
Right.
Yeah. So this is where things come from, guys.
Yeah.
But a good rule of thumb is that your average person is only going to accept a 5% change at any given time.
Sure.
I believe
So if you're pushing more change on them than that in the moment, like maybe it's your problem. You need to back off.
Right.
Change fatigue is a real thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're like trying to write science fiction, there's that thing of like, I want to explore these vast new worlds that are, the edge of what I can imagine, but I have to make it approachable enough, especially if you're well-versed and if you're very science literate and you're very creative that way. You don't just want to write things sometimes for people who are just like you. You want to write them you want it to appeal to people who think like that broadly, but also you want it to appeal to a broader audience. So how do you walk that line?
Sure.
The art of storytelling.
Right. Art of storytelling.
Yeah, you've got to make it relatable,
Right.
but you don't have to make it entirely
sympathetic.
relatable. You just find your audience.
Yeah.
It's true.
I think relatable and sympathetic. Like,
Right.
that's one, like you could, again, your ETs, your District 9s, like, you got to make them care. Cause again, there has to be something universal about the way like we do stuff. Like if animals caring for another animal, aliens caring for a human, vice versa, we find that like commonality that all life has some intrinsic value.
Right.
Like, so when you can display that in even the most alien ways, it becomes like even in an Arrival, like they're trying to stop a fight, a war from breaking out over this new alien arrival because everybody wants to like find out, take it, claim it because they think it's going to be used for weapons or whatever, and it's one of those things where when people understand that like life is always preferable to death, that makes us be sympathetic, I think. And that,
One, there's also that there's a perspective from a surprising source.
the Bible.
About if you boil it down, what it means is like structure has some inherent value, not just life, but structure. And I'm looking at it that way. It's actually from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Because if you read it, which is one of those bits that's not going to appear in movies and stuff like that. I think it's in the BBC radio thing, but they're talking about the glittering caves of Aglarond or whatever, and it's in Rohan. And, Gimli and Legolas are talking, and Legolas is talking about trees and whatever. And, I wouldn't want to be stuck in one of those dark caves. And Gimli's like, but you don't understand, like, it's beautiful, and there's going and describing it, and he's like, "Oh, don't tell dwarves about it; they might mine it it to death." And he's like, "You don't understand. That would be like me saying that you might cut down green trees for kindling. Like these are groves of like beautiful rocks and ores and all these formations, and we would maybe tend them like a gardener, like an anxious chip of rock in a whole day, and over time, like widen out vast caverns and more new beauty. And like, it's like valuing the structure. Like that's the kind of thing that like dwarves would look at it that way. And he puts it in the context that Legolas can understand it.
Sure.
And that's, it's from fantasy, you're not thinking alien characters, but they kind of, culturally, and they're different species, but culturally, it's that difference that you're speaking to.
It's true. So I feel like we've talked about a lot of different versions, and I'm going to kind of try to summarize us up for the end here.
Sure.
A lot of different ways that alien characters enhances story, I guess, and can help make it more relatable for the reader, the viewer, or the listener, whichever medium it's happening in. And almost makes the lesson of the story more impactful, maybe.
Yeah, I think that that really comes out when you see populations of alien characters, like the original Star Trek. It's like token alien, token alien, token alien. When you get whole populations, which is why Babylon 5 is awesome. You can see whole new other depths. You can see cultures, not just a representative of a
Sure.
particular viewpoint. You see like that shared as a group, which has it hits differently.
Because they started with that. Like, I think with Star Trek, it was just like, we need a new enemy. Here we go. And everything.
Yeah.
And then they slowly built that like
So
culture.
they sort of fixed their error in a way.
Babylon 5 is like a diplomatic station.
So they would have worlds. They would have the peoples all coming together. Yeah.
And people working there at their own embassies and for their own functions and have their own businesses. But it hits harder because you're seeing there's whole infrastructures, whole societies being represented. And so there are always these other perspectives you have to contend with. And it really does act like a mirror to, your own perspective, whatever that is, because it's not like there's just one human perspective. We all know that right now.
Right.
So I feel like when you realize what you take for granted, that's always the thing that hits harder. Like, it's not just, oh, this is meaningful to me. It's when the meaning is sort of tested fully and you have to really grapple with it.
Yeah.
Like put it into words, defend it, whatever, argue it.
Yeah.
And then you look back at it and you appreciate it more.
Absolutely. 100%. And I think one, too, just kind of
final thoughts.
To give it like some solidity too, is just like sci-fi and building alien characters is more so like experimental. Like when you add alien characters or alien things or worlds or anything like that, you're just kind of seeing like, what can I think of? What can I like add to this that's kind of weird or crazy? And is it fun, or does it make sense or what have you? And it really just lets you play around, even in fantasy too. But
I mean, you're kind of building your whole world off of a unique set of perspectives because you're not doing the derivative fantasy thing or, like, so you have to do that all the time.
Which I think sci-fi is exclusive to that too, because again, with like how many vampire stories have we seen or werewolf stories, it's just kind of like that. But they're using, but it's easier, but I think with like sci-fi and truly alien things, like you need to do the work and you need to just kind of like let your mind go, like
inhabit this set of conditions and reason from there what might evolve.
Sure,
not just you can do lots of things that might evolve and then pick one, but you have to put your mind back in a set of conditions that you don't inhabit currently and build from there. And it's a really unique exercise.
Absolutely. Well, with that, I mean, God, like I didn't even get to some of these things, but because I want to talk about Flight of the Navigator. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. Yes.
So another wonderful alien, but not even organic. So,
or even just, Short Circuit.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to have an episode just on the Short Circuit one of these days.
Mention any other alien characters you want us to talk about or any other topics that might have been sparked from this episode. Because we did cover a lot of different areas and ways that alien characters add or enhance stories.
Yeah. And if you have other ways, maybe not other examples, but other ways that you think alien characters serve story,
absolutely,
that we didn't bring up or that you want us to delve into more, hit us up in the comments or on Discord.
So, but thanks for stopping by. As always, we have been Bards and Balladeers. We have Oscar, me, and Kate.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Rio. I forgot for a second, to be honest. But you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.
Bye.